Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over this Aviator and Game Site strat on Villa. This strat's going to be with Kapkan. He's like one of the best defenders in the game right now for sure. He's easily top 5 defenders on this map, especially for the upstairs sites. Even for the downstairs site, he's really good. Kapkan's a go-to for me on Villa for sure. This strat specifically is going to be on the AVG site, which is Aviator Games. It's abbreviated. But it will work for like the other two sites as well, secondary and the third site. Dining room, that is. So you can easily take some of these things I'm showing you and do it for like the trophy site since it's the same floor you're going to be playing on. But just roam the other side. This will be a good roam setup. You can come back to site though and play that as well. It just depends what's going on with the push because this is a solo queue guide as always. I'm going to go ahead and start. Actually, one sec. I'm going to go over this. I'm taking impact grenades so that way I can make a rotate on the vault side of the wall that I will show you when we get in. But you're going to want to take the PMM for the pistol, and you're going to want to take this gun as well. You're never going to want to take the shotgun unless you're trolling and memeing, which is fine in that case. But I would take this gun, take a suppressor on it with a vert grip. You don't need to use the angled anyway. Like, you're always going to be ADS, especially since you're on defense. And obviously you want the 1.5. That thing's insane. This gun has like no recoil even with suppressor, because with the update obviously suppressor doesn't reduce damage, so it's insane, especially if you can hit your headshots very well. So I'm going to be loaded in here. I'll go over reinforcements first. You're going to want to get the single panel, of course. This is like the one wall you want to reinforce unless you're doing some crazy 90 extension, but in solo queue I would not do that. You're going to want to get these two as well. These are the other go-tos. Or the main walls. You need these games walls reinforced. There's not too much to reinforce on this, so you can take some reinforcements on the roam if you would like. You're going to want to reinforce the left side AVG, or Aviator wall, I should say. And then I would shoot some little holes here. It'd be ideal, obviously, if like a teammate can do this, because this gun is a pea shooter for making holes in the walls. Like, look at that. I wouldn't even waste your time, but if you want some lines of sight, maybe that'll get your teammate to make one with their secondary shotgun or whatever. I would definitely do that, though. And then this is where you're going to want to rotate right here. Try to aim it, like, high enough so you can run through it, but not too high so you have to, like, vault. I think that should be good. Yeah, that's good. There's, like, a little stub right here, but you can still run through it if you go the right way. I always like shooting these planes at two a lot of the time. So that way if you're trying to do nitros, your teammate is. You can pick nitros too, of course, if you want, but I just like taking the impacts to make the rotate, and I will have one later if I need it for finishing a kill or anything really that you need an impact for, right? Okay, so let me see again. This is most of the reinforcements. I'd recommend doing one right here next to the rotate. Especially since you're solo and you can't really watch everything, and they could just be anywhere at all times because your teammates just don't watch any angles, it seems like. I would reinforce this. I mean, you're playing in this site now. They can't just see you from the door, right? So you have some cover. Maybe make some holes right there to peek off of or something if your teammates don't. I also like putting a hole up here if you do have the C4, but again, it's hard to do with your gun. I would reinforce both these off if you're solo. Normally, I would just do this one and then put footholes here, and then it should be footholes here as well. You can reinforce this one as well. I'm not going to do it for this example. It's not that important, really. Before I put my Kapkans down, also shoot this glass, remember. Always shoot your glass. I go over that every video. If they're on this rappel, you'll hear it immediately, and you can get in a better spot, like right here to challenge. Or like in this corner like that. You won't just be in the open, just walking around when they start shooting you through the barricade because they have a drone on you didn't see. That's all the reinforcements, though. Again, I said you can have them for your roam. You can reinforce these three, at least these two maybe, if you want some holes here. You can bring both of them here if you want. So that way you can like play more safely in like this area on 90, so they can't just have these walls open. 9 is going to be a power position for sure for this strat. you pretty much want to go hold you're going to be starting over here. And then you're pretty much going to want to hold 90 if you come back. They're doing a full push on this side of the map by study. You're going to want to hold 90 for sure on that. But I like starting in this area. I'm going to go show you some Kapkans. First Kapkans, I like putting some on this doorway. That way if they come anywhere on this area, they're going to hit this at least. I'm not going to put 2 for this. I like stacking 2 on 2 different doors, then putting the single on some as well. I'll put some on this. Usually if they're rushing through this doorway, it's going to be like late in the round, and like I said, they're going to be rushing through it, so they're not going to check for this, and it's hard to check for this too, right? Like they would have to get here to shoot it, but they're already exposed to this door and almost to this door, and usually they're going to try to shoot it like this. And they're not going to be looking down there, they're going to be looking here. That's why it's really important to put your Kapkans really low. This is the first Kapkan guide I'm actually making, so just some good Kapkan tips for you. For the next 2, the last 2, these are like your really good ones. If you want to put 3 here, I wouldn't even mind. Sometimes I do that if I don't have any time, but nobody knows this is like actually a doorway. These are like invisible Kapkans basically. They're never going to be checking for those unless they know about them already, but usually they don't. That gets me a down or a kill like every time, which is why it's pretty much worth putting a 3rd. You don't want to put this one. I just like having this for more info. Kapkan's like a really good information operator, which is why I like playing him a lot for solo queue especially. It like really covers your flanks. Like now you can play 90, or you can play in this area, which is bore. And you don't have to worry about somebody just pushing this. They're going to have to shoot the Kapkan or hit it, which in that case, they'll be half HP. So that's a win for you, right? You're basically going to try to hold as much map control on this side as you can. And if you do see they're going to do a direct take on study with like 3 or 4 players here, maybe 1 on 90 or something, or 1 flanking up red, you're going to want to come back, obviously. Just check your angles, like say you were starting here in this area, shooting some drones or whatever, or trying to. Try to come back and make sure you're watching this here. Make sure you're wary of your red stairs. And make sure you watch your 90 rappel as well. And then just try to hold 90 at that point and make sure they don't push up here. If your teammates really need help, you can even push up 90 like this. And start holding these angles. Just make sure you know about the window right there. 2 more good Kapkans right here. I like putting 2 right here sometimes. It's 1 right there, 1 right there. I'll usually do that. Or this. And then I'll do like 1 single and then a double here. If not triple, like I said, and just remove that one. That's what I like doing here for Kapkan though in solo queue on this site. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Not really. Like, the only downside of playing Kapkan, you can't, like, make lines of sight, like I said. There's a lot on this site. Like, you want to make head holes here always. You're going to want to make C4 holes up here in case they're going for the vault plant. And you're going to want to make holes here so they can't just push up the 90 long haul for free. You don't need to, especially in solo queue. It's mainly just going to be winning your gunfights and being in the right spot to where these people are pushing you. So I think that's going to do it for this guide. If you guys like this one and want to see more Kapkan guides maybe, tell me in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one.